Rolling Earthquake X3. Oh yeah, and now it gets a bunch of counters on it. That works out great for us. We didn't lose anything.
Today on Commander Replay, it's a time for heroes as we check out Anax and Cymede and try to pump our team with Heroic. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's two great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back everyone. Boros month continues with Anax and Cymede. Let's take a look at this opener. Tome of Legends, Keeper of the Accord. That's a pretty good hand to me. We're keeping that. I did take a pass at this deck a few days ago and didn't get any value pieces early, and that turned out to be a huge problem. So we've got a couple value pieces. Got a ramp piece, got a draw piece. Love it. So this is a commander that I've actually played before. I played this commander when I first started this project like a year and a half ago, but I just never released a video on it. At first I was just kind of doing it for myself and, you know, didn't feel like I needed to release a video on all of them that I played, but I felt like this is an interesting enough commander that I would actually kind of go back and play this one a little bit. In general, it's not the most powerful commander, but it's not terrible either. It does have some cool little effects and some cool little things that you can build around, particularly with the enchantments that bounce themselves, and you can make all your creatures huge and have trample. I've gone for a little bit of a token theme with this deck, so, you know, we make some tokens, and then we try to pump them up with Anax and Cymede is the name of the game. Anyway, brings it to our turn one. We'll play the Windbrisk Kites. Oh, Elish Norn, I guess, right? Gotta be the Norn. Missed a Soul Ring, though. That hurts. And a Sword of the Animist. Eek. Those are 4 good cards under there. I think we wanted all of those, but... Now, unfortunately, like a lot of old-school Boros commanders, like, the best way to probably build this deck is as a Voltron deck. The 3/2 First Strike Vigilance is, like, it's pretty tanky in the early and mid game. Like, if you put a single equipment on it, especially a pro color sword, that's generally going to let you attack past whatever's on board for quite a while into the game. That being said, it's not going to be the quickest finisher ever. Like, it doesn't have double strike, doesn't have extra combats. And until you find one of those enchantments that pump everything up, it doesn't scale particularly well into the late game. But it's the type of thing where you can just, like, you can be out there early and be annoying and get your opponents off of 40 life, potentially before they really get much up in the way of blocking. So there's some cool little things in this commander. Anyway, it brings it to our turn 2. Let's get the Command Tower and Tome of Legends. Tome of Legends, huge pickup for this deck. We'll take a read of our commander. It's Anax and Cymede, 3 mana for a 3/2 with First Strike and Vigilance. Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that targets Anax and Cymede, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain Trample until end of turn. So 1/1 and Trample is pretty cool. Like, that's a decent buff. And there's obviously a few ways you can go with it. We talked about the Voltron thing a little bit. I took a peek at EDH Rec just to make sure I wasn't missing any cool synergy pieces. A lot of people tend to do the heroic thing with Anax and Cymede, which isn't my favorite just because there aren't that many great other heroic creatures, and, like, Feather just does it better, right? Feather's ability is just much stronger. Anax and Cymede is, like, cool and interesting, but Feather is just crazy powerful. So, ooh, do we become the Monarch? Yeah, we become the Monarch. Love it. So if they ever do a return to Heroic for some reason, and they printed maybe 10 more Heroic creatures that'd be available in red-white, you know, I could see it being a halfway decent deck. It'd probably get a little more love. Now, you still have to compete with the fact that, like, it's just not a value-generating commander, and the game is very much in a place of cast your commander, run away with value, so it doesn't give you that. It is, unfortunately, only a damage-based commander. And it's getting harder and harder to continue to justify running damage-only commanders. And at this point, there's so many of them, you tend to just gravitate toward the best ones, which Anax and Cymede is certainly not. But anyway, hopefully we can pump up our stuff and give it trample and have a good time with it, so that's what we're here to do. We do get a second counter on Tome of Legends after casting our commander. There's an Aminatou. Yep. Opponent got themselves a Moonblessed Cleric last turn. Search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, put it on top. What is it going to be? Wizard class. That's not too bad. And they're going to do it again. You know, the nice thing is that with First Strike Vigilance, we can attack into this Aminatou, and they either have to lose Aminatou or block with this thing, so should be able to get something off the board. Let's take a look at what our opponents are playing as we started talking about. Zombie Caller piloting Aminatou, the Fate Shifter. 3 mana, 3 loyalty Planeswalker. +1, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. -1, exile another target permanent you own. Then return it to the battlefield under your control. -6, choose left or right. Each player gains control of all permanents other than Aminatou by the next player in the chosen direction, and Aminatou can be your commander. AKA the Blink Commander. The -1 tends to be the most common thing. You'll use the +1 at some points in the game, especially if you don't have any creatures in play. But generally, the deck really kind of hinges on the -1 of blinking your stuff. I've played Aminatou on the channel a couple times, and I've also seen it a few times over the years. True to most Esper decks, it's a deck that can annoy you to death. It can generate value and do a lot of things. It just doesn't necessarily kill you quickly. Like, you might be in for a long game. So there is all of that to think about. Anyway, a Gerard Weatherlight hero comes in for Sean, and a Grozilix Ithalid Scholar for Chaotix. This is an interesting little card. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So this is really good if you want to self-blink and get some stuff back into your hand. Someone a few weeks ago had a combo with this and Scourge of Fleets. And I think it was Zach Ryan, now that I'm thinking about it. And, like, it's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. Anyway, brings it to our turn 4. Let's play this Homeward Path, play this Keeper of the Accord. Hope we should be able to get a land. We might even be able to get a creature with it, depending on what opponents do. Yep, we're going to swing into the Aminatou. First Strike and Vigilance, baby. Another counter on the Tome of Legends. The one thing that we have to do now is we're going to start tapping the Tome of Legends and spend the counters before it gets blown up. Just lets the Aminatou go. What else did they get with the thing? Oath of Teferi. Oh, God. Does that go infinite? Oh, what's the infinite for that deck? It requires Spark Double also. Not that that's that hard to find. There's a wizard class. Yep. We don't have any removal in the strictest sense. We do get a land, though. Love it. Get a plains. Try to keep pace at least a little bit with our opponents. Thaumatic Compass. Kurama's Reach. Is that going to get us to another land? I think it is. There it is, land number 2 with Keeper. So, by the time you get a second land with Keeper, like, it is more than paid for itself. Getting one land is fine, it's decent. Getting 2 lands off Keeper is pretty good value. Basically turns it into a Sky Shroud Claim or something like that. In addition to the fact that it's also a creature and can make you creatures. So, I'm extremely happy if I get 2 lands with Keeper of the Accord, and it just makes me wonder how it took people so long to really start adopting this card into white decks. That's a Wheel of Fortune. Don't need that just yet. I'll tell you what, what's interesting, though, is we know he has the Oath of Teferi. We could wheel it out of his hand, but I do want to get this Iroas in before we do that, so he might get a turn here where he's able to get it into play. Let's draw with the Tome of Legends. Volakut Exploration is a magic card. Let's play the Flooded Strand, crack the Flooded Strand, get Mistveil Plains, and we'll go to combat. We'll send Anax into Zombie and the Keeper into Sean. Another counter on Tome of Legends. KO's gonna bounce our Keeper of the Accord, which I don't love, with the Nurok Replica. We draw a Dousing Dagger. I guess we can just ditch a land. We'll discard the Mountain just in case we need to discard 2. Do we discard Ignite the Future and just set it up for the flashback? We can discard Waves of Aggression. Although I don't necessarily like to show Waves of Aggression. Yeah, we have so much card draw. I think we just discard the Ignite the Future and set it up for the flashback. Zombie took 3 off of that, but our attack into Sean got bounced. Oh, we drew a second card with the Monarch. That's why we... So maybe KO's thinking about trying to wrestle the Monarch away from us. Animate Dead on the Nurok Replica. Lovely. See how this game's going to go. Yep, bouncing our Anax and Cymede. He's going to draw a card, sure. And now we're wide open. Yep. Steals the Monarch. They draw a card. Gerard into Sean. Doesn't go anywhere with the Jared. It's going to steal the Monarch. Yep. That's a Gauntlet of Might. Well, I'm sad we discarded that Mountain. This is a Mountain. This is going to flip over, which will be annoying for us. Rolling Earthquake X3. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and his team is now full of 4/4s, and now gets a bunch of counters on it. That works out great for us. We didn't lose anything. Also, Jared's now a 7/7. It's probably why he didn't attack with it, just to, like, make sure nothing went wrong. We did keep 1 white mana up, which, you know, says Swords or Path. Sometimes you gotta signal the Swords or Path even when you don't have it. And the Compass flips, so it's gonna be annoying attacking into Sean. We are a token deck, so it's not impossible. We have reasonable tools to be able to get past a single Spires, but still, even getting rid of the biggest one, because usually they have to block the biggest one, and then when you remove that from the equation, the tokens fare much less good against what's going on. Also, we're going to be able to get a couple lands off of what Sean's doing as long as Keeper sticks. Fairy Imposter enters battlefield. Sacrifice it unless you return another creature. I think he's in for a Rude Awakening. Unless he wants it in the graveyard. Oh, there we go. He's going to flash in a Niambi. That works. Enters battlefield. You may return target creature you control to its owner's hand, returning the Fairy Imposter. If you do, gain life equal to that creature's mana value. So, KO gaining life? Okay. His creature sticks in play. He doesn't have to return something because it's no longer in play, so it won't be sacrificed. Oh, God, no Mage Advocate. Eek. Oh, that's no good. That's not a card you want to see. That is repeatable artifact and enchantment removal. I would love to get this Dowsing Dagger flipped over. Don't know that it's going to happen, though. We'd have to get Iroas to 7 loyalty, which doesn't seem likely with this hand. Or we would need to get something with haste. Skull Clamp's good. Skull Clamp probably get shot by that thing. What do we do here? I think we start with the Valakut Exploration. Oh, there's double mana. So that makes 2 red. Play the Valakut Exploration. How much mana do we have left? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if we play one from hand. So yeah, I think play a land from hand, play the Scavenger Grounds. We have a Bonder's Enclave. We already played a land. Losing the Bonder's Enclave makes me sad. Although I guess we have a lot of card draw. But that card draw might go away with a Null Mage hanging around. So I guess then we draw a card. It's a Maria's Call. Play the Keeper. I mean, if we have the Skull Clamp and the Tome, you can only shoot 1 at a time. So I guess there's that. Bonder's Enclave to the graveyard, and each opponent takes 1. And we'll pass like that. You can upgrade the Wizard class to level 2. Draw 2 cards. I need to do more stuff with the classes. I did that one where I played all 12 classes. That was fun. Got them all to level 3. There's a little bit of overlap, especially ones in similar colors, but at some point, like, the red-green one does not overlap with the blue one, right? Those are 2 very different decks. Oh, that's a Baird. Oh, that's a mini Ghostly Prison is what that is. Haktos the Unscarred, yeah. I was watching the fight scene from Troy last night. There was a thing in my YouTube feed where a dude was ranking spear fights in movies, and the fight between Hector and Achilles and Troy, pretty good. Pretty cool fight scene. Anyway, some terrible things happen. Opponent puts a Pariah Shield on their Jared. That's going to demand some removal. That might be the Null Mage Advocate target. Like, 60% of the time that I play a Pariah Shield, it immediately gets removed from the board. Like, everyone just unloads every piece of removal they have, and you just get dismantled. It's happened to me so many times. I'm not quite sure how KO feels about it, and hopefully he gives Sean a similar experience to the one that I usually have. I usually run it in my Sisay Legendary Blades deck, because you get indestructible very quickly with that deck, and as we get to Plains. It just makes a lot of sense to have a Pariah Shield when you're indestructible. But the removal starts coming down. That's going to put a card under Valakut Exploration. It's a Bloodstained Mire, which is actually good. I'd rather get that land out of the way. Kind of hit a lot of lands. I mean, we've drawn a decent amount of cards, but we've also hit a lot of lands in what we're doing. So, Fertile Thicket. Look at the top 5. Reveal 1 basic land from among them into the hand, rest in the bottom. KO took the shot for 7. So maybe he'll be a little less friendly toward the Pariah Shield. What did he shoot? Oh, the Gauntlet of Might. Okay. Our stuff's safe for a turn. Love it. KO getting busy with the Fairy Imposter once again. Recast the Null Mage Advocate. I need to get one of these for my Tap Creature Tribal deck. That is the answer that I'm looking for, I think, because that deck has a problem, especially with enchantments. Artifacts aren't so bad. Getting repeatable enchantment removal in that deck, it's been kind of rough. Don't say Devout Witness. The cost on that card is way too high. Mana plus discarding a card is far too many resources for what that card entails. Also, I mean, in that deck it's probably fine because there's like 5 haste sources, but so many times I've tried to play that card like in the Angel Reanimator, because you're like, oh, I'll just discard the Angel and reanimate it, and that all seems good, right? But what happens is you cast it, and if you don't give it haste, people find ways to interact with it and blow it up before you can shoot the thing that you need to shoot. I've had that come up a number of times over the years. Like, it's happened at least 4 or 5 times in like critical moments of the game, and I'm like, well, that was frustrating. Anyway, brings it back to our turn. There's an Odric Master Tactician. I would love to get an attack off with this thing because it's just not something I get to do very often. But I guess we start with the land. Actually, do we just flash back Ignite the Future? I don't know. I think we wait on Ignite the Future. We have a lot of resources still. So yeah, we'll start with the land. See where that takes us. Valakut Exploration. Blasphemous Act, you say? What happens if we cast a Blasphemous Act? We lose Keeper, which I'm not thrilled about, but we do get rid of the Null Mage Shepherd, but we sort of need the Null Mage Shepherd to blow up the Pariah Shield. All damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to equipped creature instead. It's currently the Monarch, so all damage dealt to it is prevented, which means Jared wouldn't go anywhere if we cast the Blasphemous Act. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're better off leaving the Null Mage in play. Oh, that's disappointing. As much as I'd like to get rid of the Baird, protection from everything except 2, this would survive, and this would die, give him no value. KO would lose all of his stuff. Yeah, I just don't know that it makes that much sense. Like, and we could have Maria's Call and do it that way, protect our stuff, but I just don't think we're getting that much value out of the Blasphemous Act. And you need to break this apart, and this is the answer to breaking that apart. So I think with that, I think we just have to leave it. What we do want to do, crap, he's got Spires. It's going to be tough to flip the Dowsing Dagger over. Okay, I think what we try to do is play the Dowsing Dagger. Sean can have some plants. We'll Dowsing Dagger. We'll just Dowsing Dagger a token. Send this into Zombie. Paying 1. Nice, Sean lets it go through. There's the flip. Excellent. Let's get our mana. Love it. Transform the Dowsing Dagger. Now what to do with that mana? Oh, we have the setup too. The plant tokens into Blasphemous Act is a play that I love to make. Because usually it means you're casting this for the minimum. Oh, we could have got Elesh Norn right there. What problems does Elesh Norn solve? Not that many yet. Not that many. We're gonna wait on that Elesh. Yeah, wait on the Elesh Norn. Do we just, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we just flash back the Ignite the Future? Maybe we wait a turn on that, just because we've already played a land. If we hit a bunch of lands, it could get weird. Or maybe we just do it. It's a lot of value. Yeah, let's see. Let's just do it. So it's a big mana play, and we might need to do other things next turn. Right now, we're like kind of safe to just tap out for a big play and hopefully not get punished. So flashback, Ignite the Future. What do we hit? Those are cards. Oh. What is the likelihood that Akroma's Memorial doesn't get shot? Which actually I think means we hold the Akroma's Memorial until next turn. We have until next turn, right? Until the end of your next turn, yeah, okay. So that being the case, play the Monastery Mentor and play the Legion War Boss. That was a pretty good Ignite the Future. Not gonna lie. We'll pass like that. We will pass like that. 2 cards will come off of Volakut Exploration and ping opponents for 2. Sean made a really cool play with Volakut Exploration. Basically, he scape-shifted and then had Splendid Reclamation. It's like 14 damage triggers, and it was pretty late, so it was lethal on a few players. So next turn, if this board holds up, we could go Odric, Akroma's Anax, or we could probably go Odric, Akroma, Waves of Aggression. Oh, that sounds like a play. Animate Dead on the replica, yeah, trying to keep himself safe. Is a reasonable tool for doing so. Gonna sack it right away to get rid of the Jared. Okay. Yeah, that's a decent little play. KO says, you've cast my replicant more times than I have. Nice. That is an Imprison in the Moon that ends up on our Scavenger Ground. Really doesn't want the graveyard exiled. Roger that. You got some graveyardy stuff going on, I see. I mean, yeah, I'd like to have the Scavenger Grounds. It's a nice tool to have, but we have many other things that could go on. It would be far worse than the Scavenger Grounds. Like Iroas. I think it works on Iroas, right? It has to be in creature form, which it's not. Okay, but yeah. Monastery Mentor is a pretty crazy card. Yeah. That is not the worst Imprison in the Moon I've ever been hit with. Jared comes back to play. We become the Monarch. Re-equips the Pariah Shield, except Jared doesn't have his damage prevention mode. So it would die if someone attacked in there. Hactos, coming our way. What is it, protection from 2? Do not have a 2. Go fish. Yep, can't block. Did I put any life gain in this deck? Life is getting a little low. We retain the Monarch because they can't become the Monarch as part of Jared's text. Our final opponent, by the way. Did I talk about Sean's deck? He's piloting Jared Carthalion. One that we're getting a pretty good look at it here. I haven't actually seen a lot of it. I know the professor talked about it a lot when it came out. I just never saw any gameplays with it. Didn't really run into people that were running it. Or at least I don't remember any of it. So yeah, cool little look at Jared here. And finally, we've got KO piloting Kenrith, the Returned King. Looks like he's doing some like ETB stuff. I'm not entirely sure what he's up to. There's Kenrith coming into play. So what we need to do is find a blacksmith skill. Protect our Chroma's Memorial. 2-1 coming our way. Oh yeah, he's going to take the Monarch. KO draws at the end step. Come on, blacksmith skill off the top. 1 in 69 chance. Maybe 2 if we draw a second one. 3 if we hit a land and do all that. Actually, Strip Mine takes care of the spires. So play the Strip Mine. Volcate Exploration. What'd we hit? Loyal Apprentice? Yeah, we'll probably just want to cast that. That is a 2-drop also, which means we do have a blocker for Haktos. We'd have to feed it to the Haktos, which maybe isn't the best, but let's draw with the Tome of Legends just to see what we've got available. Crown of Flames. Oh, that's interesting. That is the combo. So, yeah, I think we get started with our commander then. I really don't expect the Akroma's Will to survive. So the plays that I'm going to make are based on the fact that I don't think it's going to survive. Just keep that in mind. Because if I did think it was going to survive, I would probably do things differently. Although either way, this would be a pretty sweet line of play. Another counter back on Tome of Legends. Oh, funny story. This gives our stuff pro-red, which would make Crown of Flames fall off. So we'll want to be really careful about that. That being the case, let's play the Crown of Flames. We're a little tight on red mana, to be honest. Anax and Cymede on the bottom. Get the white, get the monk, and then the prowess. So this is kind of what the deck is supposed to be doing. It's turn 8, so it's not the quickest thing ever. We did spend the early game trying to generate value, and that actually went pretty well. We've got quite a few lands in play. We should be pretty far ahead of the turn count, I think. Yeah, we're on 13 mana off of our lands with the Lost Veil and everything else. So yeah, on turn 8, we have ramped well. And now we're kind of set up to do the things that we want to be doing. I mean, I think a lot of that was Keeper of the Accord, too. 1 extra land from the Lost Veil. I mean, 3 extra mana, I guess. But that is a lot of mana above the turn count for not a lot of investment. We didn't play a lot of ramp cards. We basically just played Keeper. So keep that in mind. Return the Crown of Flames to its owner's hand. Let's do this one more time. Anax and Cymede on the bottom. All these things. Then let's return it one more time. One of the cool synergies I did see is you can run Shram or Mesa Enchantress, and once you get one of these, that's a lot of card draw. Now the problem is it's a combo to card draw, so like you need to have both pieces. So like early in the game when you're just like, I'm just trying to get to my next land, it's maybe not the best for that, but once you have it late in the game, it can be pretty cool. Oh crap, did we use all the red? We used all the red mana. That's not ideal. What we can do though is attack and get an Elesh Norn. I did mean to leave up a red. That's frustrating. Well, I guess it's going to go away. Okay, that's back in hand. Cast the Chroma's Memorial. Trigger all the stuff. Yeah, I think we'll just leave everything up. Go to combat. Probably watch as the Chroma's Memorial get shot. We get a Legion Warboss trigger. Unfortunately, that gives KO another chance to respond. KO has let us get to declare attackers, which at the very least means that we have haste. So like our commander can join the fight and maybe and some of the tokens. That seems like a mistake. We've gotten political in this moment in the game. I'm really trying to keep this Akroma's Will. Such a good card. KO didn't really give us a clear answer one way or the other on our offer. So I mean, here's the thing. Like, let's just say we kill these 2 players. He then just shoots it again anyway. So I don't know. I think we just spread the damage here. Keep working on the commander damage on Zombie. This one into Sean, that one into KO, this one into Zombie, this one into Sean, this one into KO, this one into Zombie, this one into Sean, this one into KO, this one into Zombie, this one into Sean, and that concludes all of our attacks. Oh, the Elesh Norn's going to be so good. A Zombie Scoops, Tome of Legends, and Legion Warboss trigger. Oh man, we could have got the Odric in. I'm just going to have to build this deck. I always want to use this card and I never get to. You have to build it as a commander. Oh, mono white though. Mono white tokens is so rough. The red token producers are really so much better than the white ones. Loyal Apprentice, which we accidentally can't cast. Legion Warboss, Goblin Rabblemaster. That stuff's all great. Monastery Mentor is like one of the few good ones that white has. And generally they've been very expensive in paper. Ooh, Rolling Earthquake and Kodama's Reach. Yeah, KO's going to shoot our Akroma's Memorial. Okay. Yep, we counted on that. We were expecting that. See if anyone wants to block anything. This is usually where KO rips out a Settle the Wreckage, except he's only on 3 mana right now. But he's been running that card a lot more, and that is the type of card that will allow you to have success against me, which I probably shouldn't tell you guys. But yeah, it generally wrecks what I'm trying to do in most decks. He's going to double block. That's fine. Well, time for the birthday surprise. Let's get this Elishnorn. Activate the Windbrisk Kites. Oh, KO's got feelings. He's going to Cosmic Intervention. That's probably actually... that'll help a little, maybe. Cast this Elishnorn. KO scoops it. Sean might survive. I don't actually know how much damage is going into him. Gets rid of the Haktos. Makes Jared very small. Ooh, I think that gets rid of the Monarch also. Yeah, the Monarch token's no longer in play. Jared goes down. We'll put Skull Clamp on our Elishnorn, because that seems like one that's likely to get shot. I think that's it for now. Pass like that. Board Wipe would crush us. We don't have an answer for that. Actually, also, if he can get... Like, we can't kill him if he has Pariah Shield and something to equip it to. So, that was True Conviction. Wait, are we the Monarch? Oh, we're still the Monarch. Okay. Loyal Apprentice to the graveyard. There was probably a world in which we can, like, Waves of Aggression in there, but I was really thrown off by the fact that KO didn't shoot the Akroma's Memorial before we declared attackers. Jared coming back to play. It does come in as... It is a 1-1. We become the Monarch again. Oh, that's the Blasphemous Act! That is the Blasphemous Act. That deserves a nice play. Why cast his commander first, though? Did he miss... Oh, because he'll get some value with Gerard. I forget how the clicking works. I'm saying be careful with the clicking and the Gerard ability. I have definitely messed that one up. We do get to draw 2 cards, though, because Elishnorn died. Maybe we're going to get a look at the Odric after all. Yeah. Hearth and Home, Austere Command. Yeah, we have a lot of goodies. A lot of goodies. Okay, yeah, Jared's back to play. Okay. One thing I'm noticing is that we are creature light. There's only 20 creatures in the deck, and that could be a mistake. Ooh, gets back the Blasphemous Act. Nasty. Nasty. So, anything we do, we're probably going to want to follow up with the Maria's Call for the Indestructible. We are still the Monarch, though, so that's going to give him a little bit of a headache. Teferi's Protection gives us another answer to the Blasphemous Act. Yeah, cast this Odric. Actually, let's just take a peek with the Toma Legends. Surprised that's hung around all game. We have generated value this game. Really, we've kind of gotten lucky. Like, if you don't draw the value pieces in this deck, it's kind of a problem. But we had 2 of them early, and they were both good. So, and they stuck around for a while, which is important. Helm of Possession is useful when you have tokens. We do not have any tokens at the moment. I don't even have a land to, like, trigger the Volakut. Well, cast Odric, then. Cast the Sword. Equip the Sword. It gives us a good blocker. I don't think we're playing the Wheel of Fortune. We have 8 cards in hand. Just don't see... what we should do, though, is use a mana to equip the Skull Clamp, just in case it dies for one reason or another. There is a Blasphemous Act. But yeah, we've been looking at this Wheel of Fortune all game. I just don't think we're playing it at this point, because it'll probably give him more cards, and... Ooh, there's the Rabblemaster. That'll be helpful for next turn. Yeah, discard the Wheel. Also, we've been the Monarch for, like, a lot of the game. I guess we also... do we discard the Waves of Aggression? Yeah, I think that's the one that makes the next most sense, because everything else kind of needs to be in play. Waves of Aggression can just wait for us in the graveyard. We do need to find some lands for that to work, but it's not that difficult. Amario with 5 planes. Okay. If we can't end this soon, might have to shoot that instead of the Spires. Has a Xenagos. Probably going to feel this a little. Doesn't give a trample, right? Okay, just haste. Does he blast? No, he can't Blasphemous Act, because he does not have damage prevention. He can Kodama's Reach, though. That's fine. Yep, puts the trigger on Jared. That's a route. Route's fun. Play the Goblin Rabblemaster. Draw with the Toma Legends. Chaos Warp is a helpful card. I think we chance it here. Shoot the Spires, because that's going to cause more immediate problems. Make a token. Go to combat. Hearth and Home. Yeah, nothing worth blinking. We'll get a Mountain. Pretty light on red mana. Triggers Volakut Exploration. We get Cavalier of Flame. That's interesting. We got some lands in graveyard. That dies for some reason. Yeah, let's cast the Cavalier. Is there anything we need to discard? No, I think I like all these cards. Helm of Possession's, like, pretty gnarly. We'll discard the Helm of Possession. There's a Mountain. Play a Mountain. Volakut Exploration. What do we have? Generous Gift? We should probably play it, right? Shoot the Pariah Shield. And it leaves us 3 for Teferis. They get an Elephant. Pass like that. We draw a Steel Shaper's Gift. We've got all our value equipment. I actually don't think we need the Steel Shapers in this moment. Oh, he has an active Emeria. Haktos is coming back to play. Didn't see that. Didn't see when that happened. Oh, maybe the Kodama's Reach or something. That would explain it. Chosen number is 4, which means we can block with Iroas. He's got a little army now. Got Rien, Haktos, Xenagos is a creature, and Jared, yeah, he's beefed up a little bit. Gonna pump the Angel. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot of flying damage. If we Chaos Warp that, we're shields down for the Blasphemous Act. So I think we just take this. He takes the Monarch. Yeah, there's the Blasphemous Act. Okay. Now we Teferis. This should do it. What's gonna survive? Rien's gonna go down. Haktos will survive. Jared will survive. Xenagos will survive, but probably not a creature. We're at 9, though. Ooh, Jared's a 16-16. Definitely got to sit on the Chaos Warp in the route. He says he thinks he wins. Fling? Is it a fling? Draw a card. Thran Dynamo. Oh, we have a True Conviction. We should probably try to gain some life, right? I think I'm going to leave the rest of our mana up just so we have tools to work with so we don't die. Make a token. Send it all. Oh, we get the Odric trigger. Oh, we finally get it. We got unblockable. What is this? Protection from 4? If we kill it, it just comes back with Emeria, assuming he doesn't die. So, what I really want to do is be able to, like, kill, like, an Oracle of Moldiah. Would be very fun, but I think at this moment we just go unblockable. Whole bunch of triggers. Get a land. Volcate Exploration. Aurelia. And down he goes! Yep, he had the Rolling... So, he had Rolling Earthquake in hand. If we didn't Teferis Protect, he would have Rolling Earthquaked for the lethal amount of damage. Yeah, that would have got us. Teferis Protection saves the day. Card makes you win games. Anyway, as far as this deck, we kind of got to see the thing a little bit. We got to pump a few times with Anax and Cymede with the Crown of Flames. The one thing you will see with this commander in this deck is that if you're running Boros Good Stuff, a lot of times the other cards in your deck are going to be stronger than recasting your commander if it goes down for some reason. And that's kind of what we saw here. And that's true a lot of the like lower tier Boros commanders, where the cards in your 99 are just better late in the game. Like Sun Titan late in the game or Aurelia late in the game is probably just going to be better than Anax and Cymede unless you're well set up. So, you know, it takes a number of things. You need some tokens, you need the enchantments in hand with Anax, and then maybe it makes sense. But so that's one of the things. Opponents in this game were a little annoyed with me, thought I undersold the deck in the pregame discussion. And as I'm looking at it, their concerns might be valid. So one of the issues with this commander is that because the commander power is lower, you have to make up for it with stuff in the 99. So the 99 of this deck is like fairly powerful. Also, I faced Mango the other day trying to film this deck, and I got rolled pretty hard against like Grave Pact effects and a Simic deck. So I kind of geared up for that stuff a bit and didn't realize I had geared up quite as much as I had. So unfortunately, the way Commander is now, these things do happen. It is just hard to get everything completely even all the time. So even as much as I play, I still make mistakes about like trying to figure out what power the deck actually is. Because the first time I tried to film this a couple days ago, it didn't go well at all. Didn't have the ramp or card draw in hand, and it looked pretty bad. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.
I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel, vote on which decks I play next, or if you want to get some good games of Spell Table, be sure to check out my Patreon at the link below.